Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. It is getting colder and colder in New England. In fact, right now it is between 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And for some of you guys, that is way too cold to even think about riding.
Are you people insane?
However, I happen to be addicted to e-bike riding. I cannot get enough. I ride year-round. In fact, I have a Facebook group called E-Bike Addicts. Link in the description. Now, for some of you guys up in like crazy northern parts like Alberta, Canada, wherever you're watching from, 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit is nothing. That's summer weather. Hey, bust out the shorts, you know what I'm saying?
Some people with shorts out here, so some brave people
my
the elements with shorts on.
But for us mere mortals, that is fairly cold. And today we're going to be talking about winter gear. So gear that I would recommend buying if you are like me and you like to ride around all year, even when it's cold. This gear is going to help keep you nice and toasty and give you a very enjoyable e-bike riding experience year-round. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. We're going to start at the top of the list and at the top of the body, your helmet. Currently, if you guys can tell by my voice, it sounds a little bit muffled. I am wearing my full-face motorcycle helmet. And that's great for a couple of reasons. Number one, yeah, it's safer. It might look ridiculous on some electric bicycles, especially if your bicycle isn't like what I'm riding now, which is the Anioki dual motor monster that looks like a moped. So I look okay wearing a motorcycle helmet riding this, but it's also important because it has a visor. And if you guys are familiar with the effects of wind, when wind rushes by your body, it will extract heat from your body. And when it's cold, it extracts a whole lot of heat. And so what ends up happening is whatever helmet you're wearing, if your face is exposed, you just freeze up. Your nose freezes up, your lips freezes up. It's insanely cold. And so that visor helps so much with wind deflection and making sure your face stays nice and toasty. On top of that, if it's super cold, sometimes I'll even wear a balaclava underneath. And with that, plus the full face motorcycle helmet, oh, it is a treat to ride in the winter. Your face might end up being the warmest part of your body. And believe it or not, right now I'm actually going about 40 miles an hour. And I have the helmet visor cracked open just a tiny bit, mostly because where I had to mount my microphone, I kind of had to mount it right up in front of where my face is. I'm still trying to figure out the best place to put it, but even with the visor cracked open, it still feels way better than a fully open helmet, and it does allow for just enough airflow so that the visor doesn't get all fogged up and my voice doesn't sound too muffled, hopefully. Moving on down to my hands. If you notice, I am wearing these motorcycle gloves, and these are actually heated motorcycle gloves. See these lights right here, they're set to low mode because I don't need anything more than that for this temperature, although I can crank them all the way up to high mode and my hands end up being super warm. So there's a couple things you can do for your hands. Some people buy these giant glove looking things for their handlebars for insanely cold weather, like if you're riding in the snow and it's super cold, yeah, I guess you need that. But if it's just normal cold, if it's nothing too crazy, then you can get away with having some heated gloves. And I like these motorcycle gloves because they have extra padding. They have these knuckle protectors. They have these palm protectors right here. And they have a little bit of extra insulation as well. And these are made by a company called Ride Iron. They sent these out to me. And I really like these gloves. I'm going to use them all the time. But I do also have some thinner, regular heated gloves as well. And by the way, I am going to leave links to all the things that I'm talking about in the description below. So those two items I would absolutely recommend for winter riding gear. Those are probably the top two things. And if you guys like this video so far, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video if you like it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And by the way, I will leave links to all this stuff in the description below. So definitely check that out. And I also have a bunch of awesome recommended e-bikes down there as well, along with other accessories. Maximum charge approved. So continuing on, we're going to go all the way down to the feet. If you don't have the right shoes during winter riding, your toes will freeze. So what I'm currently wearing right now are these like kind of like fake fur-lined, insulated, almost like lightweight boots. These are recommended to me by another e-bike YouTuber in my state, Chris Crossed. Shout out Chris Crossed. And I started wearing these last season, and they've held up great. I'm going to continue wearing them this season. They're comfortable, they're warm, and if you wear them with some warm wool socks, they will keep your feet nice and toasty. And if it is extra cold out that day, I even have some heated socks that I can put on. And when those socks are set to their lowest mode, along with my gloves, they last for hours. The battery takes forever to drain because they're not really being used up that much. And if it's even colder than that, you guys can bust out the straight up winter boots. I know a lot of you guys have winter boots. I have some big old Columbia winter boots I use for winter hiking. Throw some crampons on there. But if it's insanely cold, yes, I will wear those for e-biking. I know it looks ridiculous. I don't care. I'd rather be warm and comfortable than looking super stylish and freezing to death. Next up, I would definitely recommend some type of wind-resistant pants. Something definitely like fleece-lined that will keep you extra warm. Remember, guys, it's all about that wind and trying to deflect it as much as possible while insulating your own body heat while trying to retain as much of it as possible. And I would also definitely recommend checking out some compression cold gear, almost like a liner that you can put underneath your pants and underneath your shirts. And speaking of shirts, that's going to be probably the easiest part. Just honestly, just wear a bunch of layers and a big old winter jacket and you'll probably be fine. So that's it for today's video. That's what I recommend for cold gear. How to enjoy your e-bike in the middle of winter. I ride year-round. As long as it's not icy or snowing, I'm out there riding. I know some of you guys are more badass than I am. You guys ride in the snow and in tornadoes and hurricanes, whatever. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You go ahead, you enjoy yourself. But I do want to stay warm when it is cold. And so check out the links in the description below of all this stuff. I would highly recommend it, guys. You do not want to be caught out in the cold. You don't want to go all the way away from your house or start some group ride and 15 to 20 minutes in you realize, oh man, I am going to freeze this entire ride and it's too late to get back home. So definitely pick up some of these accessories. I would highly recommend it. That's it for today, folks. Remember, guys, subscribe to the channel if I've earned your subscription, and check out the other links that I have in the description below. I've got a lot of awesome e-bikes and other maximum charge approved accessories down there. That's it for today, folks. Until next time.